You don't tell them that. It's our special herbs and spices.
Specially prepared.
There's an episode of Monk where they were at a wine tasting thing trying to figure out the weird taste in the wine, and it came from the aftershave of the dead body that they stuffed in one of the casks.
And delicious. All right, so are we gonna go chat with the mayor, or I've already moved us there, so I'm presuming so.
I think that was next on the checklist.
Right. Okay, well, we head up to this house here, number Tizen. Hold on there. Come on, PDF. Resolve. There we go. So this house is set pretty well back from the road. It's partially screened by a pair of decent-sized elms, like 30 foot. This is by far the most imposing house in the village. We've seen it before, but just kind of refresh you. The walls have been regularly whitewashed, and the roof gleams with new wooden shingles. A wide porch crosses the entire front of the house, and columns of wood support the overhanging roof. The columns have been carved into kind of leafy patterns by someone who's obviously very skilled.
All right, well,
Anyone gonna give it a little?
I nominate Nolan. The least intimidating. Since if Alistair does it, it'll just be weird having Eric talk to himself.
Hey guys, how you doing? I'm great. How are you?
All right, I'll walk up the path to the porch. And is there anybody visible on the porch?
Hold on. No.
I'm going to set Dagner aside right now because I'm going to say I'm mounted. So I'm going to leave him over at the edge of the screen to less confusing.
What was that, Chris? I'm sorry. I was reading descriptions.
I'm moving Dagner's icon out because I'm mounted. I stuck him over at the edge of the screen, and I'll pull him back in if I dismount.
Okay. Dagnir, you're stuck on that island. It's very dangerous.
I'll save you.
All right, so who's gonna say hello?
Say hello to who? You said there's no one there.
Well, you gotta knock on the door.
Well, yeah, that would be step one.
Who's
I think
doing it?
I'll do it. I'll walk up the porch and
Step
knock on the
one,
door.
get yourself a box. Step two, punch a hole in that box.
Oh no.
Step three, put your junk in the my dick in a box. Anyway, so the favorite thing I've ever done in my life is get Aaron, who will sing that song anytime I just say step one.
Wow.
Now that's something to be proud of.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. So I just heard knocking. Handy.
How convenient.
So Thadrin knocks on the door.
Or a desk, whatever you want to call it.
A door-esque. And a kind of middle-aged looking man answers the door.
Good day, sir. My name is Thadrin. Are you the mayor?
Indeed I am. I'm Zacharias. Zacharias Ormond. Well met.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Funny occurrence. We were here on an adventure, and we ran into Ramney yesterday. And he was asking some questions, and we were giving him some answers, and he suggested we come talk to you.
Asking him questions about what? Dun-dun-dun-dun.
Just general things throughout the town, the goings-on, the people leaving, such as that.
Well, what do you know about those things?
Not much, which is kind of why we're here. We're just trying to follow a trail of information to figure out how we can be of the most help.
Interesting. Well, I'm sure you know that we've been having mysterious disappearances in Orlane, correct?
Yes.
Well, it's been odd. I find it odd though that Ramney sent you here. Tell me a little bit about how you came to talk to him.
Well, we were more or less wandering around town, seeing the sights and kind of getting our bearings, and noticed the path into that grove of trees and saw his little home there and just kind of met with him and started to chat.
Interesting, and he sent you to me, you say?
He, assuming you're who he meant by the mayor, then
I'm
yes.
the only one.
He didn't mention your name, but he did say the mayor, so. And he told us the house with the 10, and yours is the house with the 10.
I find it interesting he sent you to me, because frankly, I suspect he's behind the whole thing.
Interesting. That is interesting that he would send us to you if you think that he is behind the whole thing, and if he is behind the whole thing, why would he send us to you?
Does he know you think he's behind the whole thing?
He may be trying to confuse you.
Well, it depends. If he thinks I'm behind the whole thing, and he thinks you're behind the whole thing, and I think he's behind the whole thing, the real question is, what is the thing we think is stinging the thing?
That is the question.
Exactly.
Who knows the answer?
We're using the word thing a lot.
Good sir, my name is Muriel, and I have a question about the Golden Grain Inn.
You have a very deep voice for a woman.
You get used to it.
Sorry, my voice is hoarse. What
It's all that caraway in your mouth.
what could you tell us about the Golden Grain Inn and the people there?
Oh, I've already lost one friend to Dungeons and Dragons. I'm about to lose Chris.
Sorry.
Oh my god.
This is why I have the headphones plugged in.
Oh my god.
I'm dead. It's killed me.
Well, Devin, you were right. Both of us rolling female characters did take some of the heat off of you for having a girl.
Completely recovered. I don't even know what we're talking about anymore.
I was asking the mayor's opinion about the people at the Golden Grain.
That's right.
Oh my
Bedroom.
gosh.
Betram's good people, I suppose. Do you folks have a moment to come in for tea?
Sure.
Come on in. So you enter, and he serves up some tea to everyone, and he takes a sip out of his cup. And he says, "Believe me, I know why adventurers end up in Orlane now. There's so many rumors about our fair village that groups come, but typically they don't stay or they simply disappear. Why do you think you would be different?"
Do they disappear after staying at the Golden Grain?
I suppose some. Not all.
One thing that would make us different, perhaps, is that we've spent the night at the Golden Grain and not disappeared, despite the fact that somebody at the Golden Grain tried to make us disappear.
What do you mean?
Well, they served us drugged alcohol. Luckily, I kept the rest of the party from getting drugged. And then these three tell me while they were sleeping, secret panels opened up in their room.
Bertrand changed our room assignments at the last minute. At first he said there were no rooms available, but we could stay in the common area. Then as we were off to bed, he set us all up in 3 adjacent rooms, and in the middle of the night we were awoken by noises and strange secret passages leading into our rooms were beginning to open.
Very interesting. Something is changing Orlane, gentlemen, ladies. Something unexplained. You know of the disappearances, as we've already discussed, but sometimes the disappearances end with reappearances, if you catch my meaning. Villages disappear for days and then return. When they return, they're different.
Different how?
How so?
Well, they're... their attitude is different, I suppose. You guys will converse with the mayor. He kind of gives you guys a little bit of back and forth for actually more than an hour. And as you guys continue to discuss the state of the village of Orlane and the fact that people are disappearing and some don't return, some do return, you definitely realize that he's kind of giving more than he's getting more than he's giving. He pokes several pieces of information about you out for every little tidbit he gives about what's different people in the village. But he begins to conclude, and he says, well, you know, the head of the shop, the smith, the carpenter, and all the clerics, I do believe that they're a part of a secret order, of something sinister. That being said, I believe that mage is the center of it all.
Yep. Mage being Randy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I should mention that he seemed very interested in having us return to him after having spoken with you.
Interesting. I think you would do well to be wary of Ramney. Wizards are easily corrupted by their power.
I glance over at Ilera.
Hello.
So he said something about the clerics and who else?
The blacksmith?
He said he believes that the blacksmith, the
The
clerics, the carpenter, and the storekeeper are all involved in some kind of secret order.
Okay.
Well, we've got a kill list now.
Murder! Get on board the murder train!
Well, good sir. Thank you for the information and the tea. With your leave, I think we'll be going. There's obviously something going on here, and as long as we're at liberty, I think we're going to look around and explore and perhaps try and ferret it out some more.
Watch your backs. Orlane is no longer a safe place.
Thank you, we will.
If I may ask one more question.
Go ahead.
Well, we noticed an abandoned inn over on the eastern side. If no one has claim to that, may we use it?
Yes, the owners of that inn were some of the first to disappear. There's obviously a big fight there. Yes. It's yours if you want it.
Thank you very much.
Well met. If
We
you need
appreciate
any
the
assistance, don't afraid to come in. Don't be afraid to come in. English, my first language!
Thank you very much for your kindness.
Well met.
As a parting thought, we've been pretty much led all over town at this point, being told to talk to one person or another, leading up to you. Do you have any suggestions about where we should poke around next?
There are a few that I believe are definitely suspicious. The wizard, the shopkeeper, the blacksmith, and the carpenter. That being said, you also know as well as I do that something is fishy at the Golden Grain Inn.
True. Well, thank you.
If I can assist you, let me know.
We will.
Thank you very much.
Get out of my house.
Okay,
bye.
Bye. Bye.
Well, comrades,
It is now just past noon.
I don't know about you, but honestly, I think I'd like to visit the Golden Grain again. Maybe get some questions answered. Go in there with our eyes open this time.
I believe that's an idea worth considering.
One of the several options.
It has the benefit of being somewhat familiar to us at this point.
What is our plan of attack? I mean, not that we're directly attacking, but
Well, if there's
Let's
to be
be
an attack,
honest.
I'll be at the front.
We could search the outside for any secret passages because, like, they had to go somewhere.
Yes.
it's daylight. To
Do you think we
investigate the outside of the inn right now may be a tad obvious.
Do you
That's
think
true.
we should come back at night and sneak around? You know, in my splint mail and weapons.
Very
Loaded
stealthy.
for Drek.
I say we head inside and ask questions first. Because right now is not a good time to go poking around the outside inconspicuously.
That kind of got us into trouble last time, but
Yes, but this time we're expecting it. How many times did we go back to the guardhouse? I mean, eventually we had to.
True.
At the guardhouse. Da, 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 da. Guardhouse, yeah. So are we heading to the Golden Grain?
Yeah.
Sure, let's do it.
Guardhouse. Guardhouse, yeah.
I'm just-
Scene change. Alright, where's all of our little tokenies?
And this time I'm going to have Dagnir follow me inside.
I don't have his token loaded. Okay, well, let's just assume he's with you.
Okay.
Alright, feel free to move your characters as you see fit.
I have returned. I am different.
Evo tap.
Evil death.
Do do
Alright.
do 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 do. Backstab! Bah, bah.
Kind of wander over toward Alistair and whisper to him to, like, kind of discreetly check out the place if he can.
Alistair attempts to hide in shadows. Alistair attempts to move silently. Alistair has made his way to the second floor without anyone noticing.